Now, another brilliant night of action in store, no doubt. And we already have our first two players warming up and getting ready to kick things off here. So let's say a warm hello to Silverback Tony O'Shea and over the top, Dean Winstanley.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Now, you two, you know each other well. Looking at the career head-to-heads, it's been quite a while, I think, since you've met competitively on the big stage. A couple of ranking finals 10 or so years ago. Tony, way back in 2009, winning the Turkish Open. Dean, I think, picked up the Belgium Open the following year. Guys, do your memories go that far back to those encounters?
Dutch Open.
Semi-final.
And that's the only bits I can remember. And then Tony coaching me and getting me to where I was with Darryl. They were two of my mentors. So I blame them for making the player I was.
So Dutch Open semi-final.
You're blaming me. I do apologise. Sorry, Dean.
Have you met more recently on the board, or is this going to be a
no, we've met in the same local tavern on a league game. I think that's about it, isn't it, Tony, for a long time?
We do actually play in the Stockport Licensed Houses League. That's for different teams, but we've not actually played each other for forever. It probably is like 10 years. So
I can remember.
So in many ways, rivalry is renewed, and you both have a point to prove after last night. But Dean, despite you're bottom of the league, we know you're carrying the 9 guys above you. But you've been relatively happy with your form the last couple of nights. They've both been 7-5 defeats. You've been in there, haven't you?
He's quite weird. Like I think I'm getting a little bit stronger every night, and I hope and pray for my own sake that I'm a little bit stronger tonight. But I've got a strong contender with Tony. It's going to be a battle because just that's the kind of characters we are. So all I can do is just see what the board says.
And Tony, it's been a bit more of a mixed bag for you. Great draw on the opening night against Paul Hogan. A big win over your big mate, Darryl Fitton. But last night, Jim Williams, he had a strong performance, didn't he?
I think I said it last night. He showed why he's probably the favourite, to be honest. He was pretty relentless, good scoring, good finishing. Yeah, he looked like the favourite. But again, if we'd have started it 5 legs later, I might have been in the game because I came back strong, but it was just too late. But yeah, every night's different, especially something like this. And you've just got to reload, start again, and just give it your best. And I know Dean's going to do that. I'm going to do exactly the same. And whatever happens, we'll give it our best. Trust me.
100%.
Have the wives been putting you through your paces? They're both darts players themselves. Have they been getting you to practice?
Yes. Yes. She's smiling and waving. Yes. Hold on. She's leaving the door. I beat her. She can't hear me.
Well, I got
that's right there with Dean.
I don't know what time it was. I got through to the other room yesterday. It was about 1:45. I got a right telling off. And but it wasn't my fault. It was Jim's fault. He played brilliant. So.
That's what I mean. The best way is to pass the buck, Tony.
We can't win, can we?
No.
That's the main thing. I played a top player last night, but I've practiced a bit more today, and maybe I've practiced more in the last 7 or 8 days than I've practiced for years. So last night I'm hoping it was a blip because Jim was so good. But anyway, I'll give it my best as usual.
Well, on that note, if you hit the practice board right now, guys, and the best way to deal with this, I guess, is the incentive is don't get a telling off from the missus if you lose. So.
All best, Dino.
Yes, John, same to you, brother.
I can't think of any better inspiration than that. So while the gents are warming up for match number 1, let me tell you the rundown of what we have this evening. Following this match, John Boy Walton takes on ruthless James Richardson. Match number 3 sees Crocodile Dundee take on the Warrior Wes Newton. Match number 4 sees the Dazzler Darryl Fitton take on the Quiff Jim Williams. And we end this evening with Big Robbo Gary Robson taking on Alan Chuck Norris. But match number 1 sees Silverback Tony O'Shea, 3 times a World Championship finalist, former World Cup singles champion. He's taking on over the top Dean Winstanley, a former Lakeside World Championship finalist himself. And when the practice starts are over, it will be Tony that gets this match underway. So are we all set, gents?
Yep. Where you are, mate.
So first leg, it's Tony to throw first. Game on.
$60.
85.
140.
26.
100.
43.
'Sneaky last one, 100.
125.
Tony requires 101.
41.
85.
Tony, you require 60.
40.
Dean requires 137.
97.
Tony, you require 20.
That's game in one.
First leg with the darts to Tony O'Shea, 1-0. Second leg, Dean to throw first.
26.
100.
60.
60.
135.
22.
135.
100.
Dean requires 145.
65.
97.
Dean requires 80.
Game in 3.
Game shot on the second leg to Dean Winstanley. Third leg, it's Tony to throw first.
$60.
60.
$140.
81.
60.
95.
1 on the floor, but 120.
Yeah, down to a finish of 1-2-1.
$85.
Tony, you require 121.
$89.
55.
Tony, you require 32.
$16.
Dean requires 125.
Ah, 85.
Tony, you require 16.
Game in 2.
Game shot and the third leg to Tony O'Shea. Fourth leg, Dean to throw first.
$60.
140.
59.
140.
100.
Tony requires 161.
$43.
26.
Tony, you require 118.
$28.
Oh, come on, man. 41.
Tony, you require 90.
$66.
100.
Tony, you require 24.
That's game in 2.
Game shot on the fourth leg and the first break of throw to Tony O'Shea. So the fifth leg, it's Tony to throw first.
77.
140.
$180.
Yeah, he had to double check, but it's there, the first of the match.
Cheers.
34.
Sneaky last one, 100.
85.
Tony, you require 144.
120.
81.
Tony, you require 24.
Game in one.
Game shot and the fifth leg to Tony O'Shea. Sixth leg, it's Dean to throw first.
$140.
45.
Sorry, 1 second. I just.
Was that in celebration of the 140, Dean?
I'd normally call it anger. Sorry about that. $45.
60.
60.
100.
81.
100.
66.
100. Sneaky last one again.
Dean, you require 109.
41.
Tony requires 96.
60.
Dean, you require 68.
14. 29.
29 score. Tony, you require 36.
That's game in one, Rich.
Game shot and the sixth leg to Tony O'Shea. Seventh leg, it's Tony to throw first.
$45.
7.
100.
100.
100.
41.
60.
36.
43.
140.
Tony, you require 153.
59.
59.
Tony, you require 94.
That's game in 3.
Excellent shot. The 25 treble 19 and double six takes the 7th leg. 8th leg is Dean to throw first.
Through them. 180.
There it is. The first 180 for Dean.
Yeah, that's right. 44.
100.
140.
81.
100.
Dean, you require 140.
85.
125.
Dean requires 55.
Game in 2.
Well, that's a 14 dart leg to save the match
Yeah.
there. And the 8th leg to Dean Winstanley. 9th leg, it's Tony to throw first.
38.
140.
41.
81.
'That's a maximum 180.
Second 180 of the match for Tony.
100.
60.
45.
$130.
Dean requires 135.
$29.
Tony, you require 52.
$36.
Dean, you require 106.
Ah. 38.
Tony, you require 16.
No score.
Dean, you require 68.
$28.
Tony, you require 16.
That's game in 3. Sneaky last one again.
That is game shot and the match to Tony O'Shea by 7 legs to 2.
Sorry,
Now
Dino.
open it here this evening.
Yeah,
Well, let's bring both players back in. Oh, Dean, we can't see you, of course, when you throw, but we can feel and hear the frustration throughout. The scoring just wasn't there, was it, this evening?
No, I think second leg. I'll have to admit tonight's been the most nervy I've been, and it's quite weird. I think I've sweated more than anything, but yeah, I got a little bit nervous, and then when the camera went, I think it just threw me off my stride. It was my own fault because I have a system that runs for the scoreboard, and if it times out, then it just threw me. No excuses. Tony played better, but that was my game to try and catch up.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you almost did a Usain Bolt and took out the camera there, and it looked amusing to us. I think that was at the moment where it was the least amusing for you, but you did seem to relax. Once Tony got to 6, you seemed to relax and throw more like your old self.
As you've just said that, the weirdest thing, I just thought, oh, well, let's go for it now. And I actually did relax. And like I say, I can't understand the nerves tonight. It's just been a little bit more. But we'll keep plodding. There's no way in this world John Boy's getting, in front of me on this table. That's my main goal now. Just for the Yorkshire thing. But no, credit's to you. Fair play, Tony.
Well,
Thanks,
Tony, as edgy as Dean seemed, you seem very relaxed this evening.
Well, to be honest, what Dean just said at the end of his interview there sort of reminded me of last night. Nothing went right early on. I missed a couple of doubles, but once the game was gone, I started relaxing and playing a bit better. So I think it reminates a bit there. But yeah, but I felt better today, and I didn't want to make excuses yesterday. I didn't feel 100% yesterday, but today I felt good, and I've done everything right. I've had a granddad nap this afternoon, which helped. So
I think that's what I needed.
to be honest, at BDO, we're nearly all granddads these days. That's a problem.
I'm not saying a word on that one.
Of course you not.
Well, Tony, you could do Dean a favour tomorrow because it's you that faces John Boy Walton.
Well, unfortunately, all 10 guys, or all 9 guys that I'm playing against, I really like them. So I'm going to treat them all the same and try and beat every one of them. And I'm not going to do anybody any favours, but yeah, we don't really like John Boy Walton, do we?
Now, as that as it sounds, you know something.
I'm only joking.
We all pick on him, don't we? We all, and
yeah,
something, it's the loveliest guys you could ever meet. I think it's just because it's Yorkshire.
Dino, it's banter, isn't it?
Oh, 100%, yeah. Tony, where's that fiver? No, John, you know what I mean? I used to look forward to beating him when I got to the player. But no, I love John to bits. I think we all do. If he finishes higher than me, that's me done.
Of course we do, mate.
Well, Dean, you've got the late shift tomorrow. You're going to be taking on James Richardson.
Late shift, right? Okay, right. I'm going to bed.
Good luck with
that. Yep, sound. Well, if I could turn it round on James, I'll take that. I'll take that. So I'll be on board in the morning.
Okay, well, guys, thanks for getting us off to a great start this evening with the Remote Darts League. Well done to Tony. Commiserations, Dean. We'll see you both tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Tony. Well played, pal. Thank you.
Well,
cheers, Richard.
Cheers, Dino. Love you.
Thank you. Cheers, pal.
Bye. Bye.
And we return shortly with John Boy Walton taking on James Richardson.